Alright, so we're going to go over 11.1 Mistweaver talent tree. We're going to ignore the left side. Uh, for the most part, about 80% of this will be standard, and then it's really up to you if you want to go a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that. So, okay, hero tree. I really enjoy Master of Harmony. I truly believe if you're in the Mythic Plus scene, I highly recommend try to play this. It's super engaging. Um, it's just awesome. Uh, if we play this, remember we need the gambit. That's gonna make our vitality turn into a dot damage. This Targalus, I mean, who really cares? Um, do that, do that, do that, do that, do that. This makes this honestly all four of this middle is just absolutely insane. It's just great. Um, okay, so that would be my kind of standard build. The only one that I don't care too much at all is this choice node here. Okay, let's get into the fun stuff. All right, so these are going to be standard. Um, with this build, this is going to become one of your main concepts to play around with. So that being said, we're going to have two charges of this. 30-second recharge. So you're going to be clicking this a decent amount of times. Alright. Alright. And then choose revival. Never really understood why we choose revival or the other one, but always have. For this is just awesome passive healing. Life cocoon. Okay. This is where we gotta start making decisions. And I have a feeling I want to go back and delete some of these, but let's just do how I typically have done it in the past. So we'll take that. I really do like this. I like the just increasing our life cocoon. Um, in the past, I really do enjoy that, but um, I'm also a believer in if you're popping a revival, something has possibly gone wrong in your group. Uh, or you're just simply using it as a master spell, not even as a heal. So, actually, now that I've been playing this for like 2+ seasons, I'm kind of like, revival's not actually that important from that aspect. Alright, so this is super nice and important. Get a quick mana break kind of thing. Then pulse. Okay, so this is going to be a super. We always want this, but especially for this force set, this is just going to constantly keep a renewing mist, at least on one person. And with our blackout kick resets of rising sun kick, we've got a good chance to just keep spamming through DPS only, renewing mist on people. Okay, before we go into that new talent or position, that is, let's go through this. Okay, so we're in M plus, so we want the red crane. And we do that. That gives us a nice absorb shield. Okay. So we're gonna take this. I don't necessarily care about this talent, it's just that I really care more about this talent. So we'll take that. Okay. So this is the one that's been keeps getting buffed. I still don't think you should take it. Also, I don't think you should be drinking mana tea in a pull. And just saying, okay, let's let this do a little bit of healing. Don't think so. Okay, let's reduce that cooldown. And let's get our Chi Harmony, which is our big, concept. Okay, I think I got all the major stuff. Okay, so now let's go into this. So first time doing this. Okay, so we, no matter what, want this. The question is, do we want this as a single target or an AoE? I'm assuming it's this one. Okay, so this is still our yada yada. Okay, so okay, so it's on the bottom right. Interesting. 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 Okay, so let's uh obviously we want that for M plus. Okay, so regardless, I still gonna have to come all the way down here no matter what. For a single target heal or for a more efficient AoE heal. So this is still probably gonna be required and it's up to you. Um so it doesn't really matter. Um just from a choice node. But okay. And then we're gonna probably want to take Rising Mist to increase that by 4 seconds. Just keep a higher uptime on the Rendering Mist. Okay, let's go left. Alright, so obviously we need our Stomp. We need our Awakened Jade Fire. And we will go Jade Fire Teachings. Once we have higher eye level and we're doing a little bit more lower content, we can definitely go back to Wind Kick and have a lot of fun and be competing with the tank and DPS for the first half of the dungeon probably. Alright. And then what do I got left? So I got 4 left. Okay. Okay, well, that's a lie because I have 3 because I forgot to do this one. Okay. Okay, so that's your standard. And then you'll go into lightning 100%. Um I think a really simple rule is if you go Master of Harmony, you have to go lightning. If you go was it Celestial Conduit or whatever, I don't think you have to do lightning. You only have one charge of it. It still would be super powerful. This pairs with this. So when we go Wind Kick, we still are gonna lightning, but the healing from our lightning is gonna be not much. But our healing with this combo is just insane. I honestly, if I'm going Celestial, I'm going just all out on healing. I'd probably switch this to spinning. They also buffed that 30%. So we'll see how that is, but that should maybe give a little bit more competition. But that being said, Massive Harmony, Lightning. No if or no buts. Alright, so we got 2 more. Okay, so real talk, we're at the exact same place I was before. Because I always had 2 things. And it's like, do I just try to buff my mastery? Do I right click? Right click. Do I go for a third charge, which I highly recommend to do a third charge. And then it's like you have this awkward one left. It's like because we're playing around Thunder Focus Tea, you have this, you have these 2 that you can choose from. You've got this that buffs your stats. Uh, yeah, and then it's like maybe you go back and click this. Um, I will say that the top of this tree is pretty heavy in that you almost select every single thing. I mean, they really, right here is the first decision I decide not to go with. Everything else I've said yes to. Um, so typically we do this because it's round thunder fungus tea. This is just kind of almost like a. I mean, granted, you have to uh, trigger it by vivifying, but naturally you're going to be vivifying with our instant cast every 10 seconds or so. So typically I would take this. Um, man, I just unless I'm forgetting something. Um, I know this. They, I can't remember if this got nerfed or buffed throughout the season. Let's see if anything happened to it again. Uh, I don't see anything. Um, no. Let's just read it again. Rising Sun kick now. Kicks up against the minutes to heal. 0.1% of spell powers. Sprinkling kick. So, one important thing, this is, I believe, completely separate of our mastery. Um, Approximately 10 procs per minute. Um, I'm a big fan of passive healing of this monk concept. I think that's still fine. Yeah, I mean, I got all the choice nodes. In the past, I was able to always either go 2-2 or 1-1 is typically how I did it. In my DPS build, I typically went 2-2 here to really min-max my DPS. That being said, I'm curious. Let's go into our hardcore DPS build. So first thing, we're gonna make this wind kick. Wind kick. This wind kick, we want to make sure we always have rising mist. I think this is actually more impactful because this renewing mist, all your renewing mists are getting buffed. So basically, and you extend it out by 4 seconds. So even if you have renewing mist on a target for 2 seconds, you hit wind kick, you're guaranteed every single renewing mist, regardless of how much is on the timer, to be fully buffed for that duration. Pretty awesome. Um, so typically I would go there. I'd probably give up this, but then I'm still at one. But with this build, I really want to rely on some more Zen Pulse healing. Um, that being said, give me your thoughts on this. So this would be a more AOE style. This because this basically brings us to a for trash and actually for bosses now because boss healing with lightning is a thing now. Um, Basically this becomes basically two short cooldowns. We have our 1 minute. We have our revival. We have our just basic ancient teachings and gust of mist healing that does pumps pretty well. I think for this build, we potentially would do the single target heal. Then when we go to our wind kick, we give up a lot of healing. A lot of healing. Uh, we can't really lightning heal that much. I think then we go definitely make a gift heal an AoE heal to kind of cover that. And then again, I would really want potentially 2 out of 2, but I don't even know if I can get that. Um, so that being said, if I'm going hardcore DPS, I probably get rid of this. Just have my raw life cocoon not buffed. I still have the cooldown, which is this is more impactful than that. I'd rather have the cooldown, and then that gives me the chance to go 2 out of 2. This would probably be my DPS build. I'm healing through my passive heals, my Zen pulses, and then when I really need to heal, I still have my big 1 minute CD, and I still have my big, decent size AoE gift heal. And then I obviously have I have nothing left, or we butt pulled 3 other groups. I need a revival. Um, that being said, I have never used this. When aspect harmony ends, any remaining red Um, I'd be interested. Like, I mean, you wouldn't run this in a key. You shouldn't. But at one point, I should just do that for just to see how this interacts. I'd be interested if my DPS then immediately applies the hot on people, and does it keeps resetting the hot on people? Actually, because you know what, that's one thing I've never thought about from a healing perspective of this, is that so when you're DPSing in this build, you're trying to put your goal is to find the tank mob, the mob that has the most health. Typically, they make in WoW they make it super easy. It's the biggest mob in the pack, and you basically just want to Tiger Palm it and Blackout Kick cleave off of it, and keep resetting that dot damage. And as you reset this dot damage, this is where it's going to have a chance to intensify. And I run with a monk healer who is able to do this pretty damn well, and he's getting a dot tick over 2 million um, every run. Um, Now, it doesn't happen often. It happens about once in a for the whole key. It will happen about once or twice, where you get over 1 million damage tick. But that same concept could be applied to healing. I'd be interested to see more in a raid setting um, how that applies, and can you get a decent hot out of this? Because let's be real, when you run this, regardless of this or this from a healing perspective will do about 1% of your healing. Because we're really focused on using it as transferring it onto the enemy and absolutely doing million or 2 million burst. That being said, this is my DPS build, my hardcore DPS build. Maybe I've got a I don't know Pally tank or a Death Knight that I feel just really confident in. Um, and I just and it's a lower content I'm doing. And then if I'm doing kind of my basic M plus, I would go with that. And then I've got one. I'd probably just go with that. Actually, there's an underrated part of this. Rising Sun Kick now reduces the cooldown of Renewing Mist by 1 second. And Renewing Mist, yeah. Actually the synergy in here is insane. More Rising Sun Kicks, more Renewing Mist, and both of those apply Renewing Mist. One is Renewing Mist, and the other one is when you use it, it applies it passively um, through that. So actually, really good synergy, really good synergy with the four set concept of just making sure we have Renewing Mist out. Um, and honestly, with if you're a beginner monk healer, without even trying too hard, if you simply focus on just Rising Sun Kick on cooldown, and then if you can think about it, throwing out some Renewing Mist throughout the pulls, or even in between the pulls, as you run to the next pack, oh, let me put a Renewing Mist out. Oh, let me go into a Rising Sun Kick. You'll naturally, I'm telling you, you're going to have at least 3 consistent renewing mist out at all times. Um, it really shouldn't be an issue. Um, and even with three, I mean, what's that? 15% buff. I mean, it's just a win, a passive win. All right, well, that was that. I highly recommend next season, Master of Harmony. Go with your Jadefire teachings, with your lightning, and your Rising Mist, your Rapid Diffusion, and then your core abilities will always be there. You should always pick those. And then the little things like this. I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. It looks like we only have one. At the end of this build, we have one option. Oh, one. You got one choice, and that's up to you. This is probably your most impactful, easiest, the synergy, the all of it would be this. Um, I ran when I was pushing early in the season. Well, granted, our mastery was beyond whack, so our mastery was already healing an insane amount. So I would just even buff it even more. You could make an argument they nerfed the heck out of our mastery, to the point where people are complaining when they pop their 1 minute CD. They go into their big blackout kick, Tiger Palm rotation. It's not pumping as much. So um, if you pop this and you have your force tax a blackout kick and you're not feeling like the party's getting healed during massive AoE damage going out, um, one you might need to get some mastery on your gear, but without sacrificing other stats, you might want to just mess around here and maybe do that. You don't have to. Um, that being said, even if you don't select this, uh, you'll still be able to get out a lot of rising or a lot of renewing mist out on your party. This isn't required. It makes it just. I think it's just a win-win. But yeah. Okay. So that being said, uh, I was excited that they moved this up. Now that I'm gone through this, I'm a little bit disappointed. You don't really have that many choices. Um, because they still moved this up, but you still have to select one, two, three. You still got to select all of these. You still have to work your way all the way down. Um, what I would have really liked was this talent and the AOE version of this to be combined. And then single target, you don't get maybe as quickly of charges. Um, would have really liked this, some type of combination. Um, but that's disappointing. Um, I just think these two could honestly just be worked into one talent, and you would have like a choice node here. Um, I guess the design of the tree, you always have 1 3 1. Because I was gonna say you would end it right here. So what would you put here? Um, I would almost maybe okay. So combine these two, right? These concepts together. This choice node stays the same, but this gets added on to one of these choices. So then you got this. Then maybe for for every let's see, for every critical heal that your gift heals, it recharges 10% faster for 4 seconds. I don't know, because then you could get a quickly recharge. Maybe you have a big AOE burst. You heal through it with your gift. It does a decent amount of critting. Then bam, 3 4 5 seconds later, you've already got 3 charges ready to go. I think that might be kind of cool. Um, I just really think these two should be together. It should be there, and then you should just add on some cool feature where we don't even really need it, but make it so enticing that maybe we decide to go out and get it. But that's my thoughts. That being said, season two is looking really good for Mistweaver.